And thank you for tuning in today. You're listening to the Adam Messer Show, and I'm your host, Adam Messer, here today in the studio with my good friend, Drew Hunt.
How
What's
are
up,
you, Adam?
man?
Are you doing well?
Dude, I'm doing great. We've been just sitting here chit-chatting right before the show. Man, I am so excited to have you in the studio today, dude.
Well, I'm excited to be here. I mean, I've been in this building before.
You were on Ed's show, right?
I was on Ed's show remotely. I don't know. I can't honestly remember when I came in here for the first time. It was, I don't know, it was probably a story about something, like when I worked at the TV station. It was probably, we came in here to record something about, it might have even been about WRUU, like an anniversary or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Dude, I'm excited because we met, gosh, man, I can't remember the year.
It's been a couple of few.
But it was on the TV station show with Kim and Renee.
Right, so it was the live version, the like talk show version of The Bridge on WSAV. That was...
Had to be like
16,
15 or 16, yeah.
I think it was 2016.
Yeah,
yeah.
It had to be, and that's kind of cool because we've stayed in touch, and then you've been doing a lot of new stuff lately.
I have. I decided that I shouldn't have any free time, and I should completely occupy it by doing other things.
Yeah.
So
before we get into all that, let's do like a little Bass. Do you mind playing a little live music while we're here? I'm going to play Sebastian Messer's in the studio, and I have my other special guest, Sabrina Messer's in the studio today, but she's over there in the corner just saying, hey. You want to say hey to everybody, Sabrina?
She says hi. I'll feel like hi. There.
She never comes to the studio, so like today's
good stuff.
Yeah. And here's Sebastian Messer. Nice. Thank you, Bass. That was really nice.
Really nice. Well done, sir.
Yeah,
well done.
He's been playing for about 6 years now.
I played the guitar for 2 days. And playing is being nice. I guess tortured a guitar for 2 days and found my limit.
It's crazy because we stayed in touch like on Facebook and all, but I don't think we've ever just kind of sat down and chit-chatted and just talk about whatever, but we have a lot of similar interests.
Right.
Because you do your podcast with your lovely wife.
I do.
And that show is about
the fact that she's never seen movies,
which is, I think, an interesting premise. And Rachel, it's like Rachel's never seen.
It's called Rachel's Never Seen. We started it on YouTube and decided to migrate it to a more formal audio podcast because, quite frankly, it's a whole lot easier than editing movie clips and stuff together. And having YouTube tell you can't do stuff, which you can because it's in the
review.
It's in the fair use.
Right.
It's in fair use.
I've had that happen too, where they'll, for example, when my girls used to do ballet, they would play a song or something like that, and the clip would the whole entire sound would be cut because of YouTube's licensing. And I'm like, well, fair use, but then you have to go back and forth, and a lot of times they'll just say no.
Right, and it's only a couple of our videos ever got pegged. None ever got straight up taken down. But there was definitely demonetization, even though we weren't even monetizing anything yet. Because you got to build an audience to even do that. So it's like we're not even doing that yet. And it just became a headache to deal with YouTube. So I was like, we'll just move over and do audio podcast only, and
Yeah.
that'll be fine. It'll lend itself fine to that. Makes it much easier for me to edit.
Right.
Significantly easier.
Oh yeah, I use Libsyn for my podcast, and one of the outputs that they have is YouTube, and so like I've been pushing my YouTube because I was getting more listens and hits on YouTube, but I've noticed since they started doing shorts, I've noticed that my platform views have dropped significantly, even though I have. I don't have. I have a small channel. I only have like 116 listeners, so a very small channel.
Right.
But I had like maybe 100 before, and so I've grown. Not a ton, but I've noticed in the last couple of months that my viewership just dropped.
Yeah.
And but I have it on. I have it on the podcast apps. Like Audible and Spotify and
Right.
all the other ones or whatever. But I've noticed that though it's almost like the pay to play. If you're not paying for advertising, you don't get the hits or the views.
Yeah, because you gotta remember it's all built in an algorithm for YouTube to make money.
Right.
Before you make money, and that's fine. That is what it is.
Yeah.
and that's fine. We migrated over to Anchor.
How did you come up with the idea though? Because y'all just got married, right? You're newlyweds.
We are newlyweds. We got married, and I would be in trouble if I forgot that our wedding date was on April 3rd.
Congratulations!
I remembered it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Because we moved it so it would be 4321 because that's she said would be
4321,
easy to remember. So
Countdown.
April 3rd, 2021. So yeah, we're newlyweds, but I mean we've been together for what feels like forever, and I mean that in the most positive way. Mm-hmm. And she is a bookworm.
Nice.
100% bookworm. Nice. She grew up with a librarian for a mother. They were constantly, that was their entertainment was books. Mm-hmm. They got TV here and there.
Yeah.
But overall it was just books. So she has very limited exposure to
TV
and movies.
Yeah.
So I've been a movie guy my entire life.
Nice.
I've gone to, especially growing up, I went to the theater all the time. I would go see movies every Friday, see whatever the newest release was. But, she just didn't. Mm-hmm. And so I would make references because I speak in movie quotes and movie things. And and she doesn't get them.
Yeah,
she doesn't understand what I'm talking about. And finally, we were watching a show we both love, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And they make reference in there a lot to Die Hard.
Yeah.
It's one of the characters' favorite films. And so they constantly make references. And she laughs because the lines are ridiculous anyway, especially when they're out of context from the movie. So she just laughs anyway they were. And I would look at her and be like, you just don't even get it. You don't even get why that's hilarious.
Nice.
So I said, what?
And she's like, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny that Charles messed up the line. And he said, oh, God, I forgot how he messed it up. But it's like yippee-ki-yak's other buckets is like what he says. And she's just like, oh, it's funny because he said nonsense. And I'm like, no, it's funny because they can't say what he says.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm like,
so mother trucker's probably the closest.
Yeah. And I just went, okay. I was like, and I asked her, how would you feel about watching some movies and then maybe we start a channel where you kind of just give me your input on them? And I'm like, we'll watch well-known movies that everyone would be like, I can't believe she hasn't seen X.
Yeah. Like if you were to say she had never seen Ghostbusters or something.
She hasn't seen Ghostbusters.
See,
she hasn't seen Ghostbusters. So during the course of this,
perfect example then.
Yes, exactly. So during the course of this, she's watched Die Hard. She's watched Jurassic Park. Wow. She's watched Back to the Future, Airplane. We did a comedy run, or not a comedy run. We did a romantic comedy run, where it was When Harry Met Sally.
You've Got Mail.
No, we didn't do You've Got Mail. Okay. We've got As Good as It Gets.
How about Dirty Dancing?
She's seen Dirty Dancing. That's one of the it is a small minority of what she has seen.
So she would know Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
She has seen that, but there's so many more. And then we got into a musicals run. which, she loves musicals. It was good timing because, Hamilton had come out.
Yeah.
So
Sabrina loves Hamilton.
Yeah, and she just is over the moon for Hamilton too. And so I was like, okay, well, you like these musicals. Let's find. There's probably some in here you'd like.
Yeah.
And we watched like Rent. We watched Little Shop of Horrors. We watched.
Did you watch Hair?
We didn't watch Hair. We watched. What was another? My mind is absolutely blanking now.
That one that.
We watched Moulin Rouge, and that was the one. That one. Most of the time when we watch these, I kind of watch her to try and see if I can guess what her reaction's going to be and how she's taking to it.
Yeah.
And to her credit, she has a decent poker face. Like, she will just sit there and watch. If something really strikes her, she'll laugh. Like Airplane, she laughed throughout. She just couldn't stop.
Nice.
Like, Monty Python the Holy Grail was another one. She had laughed straight through that one. So I'm like, okay, she will show something if it really does strike her. But most of the time, she's quite stoic.
Nice, okay.
And she takes notes.
Got that poker face.
Yeah, she takes notes, and then we agree not to talk about it until we record. Okay. So we can't taint any of her, we can't skew her reviewer of any kind. Moulin Rouge, the whole movie, she was like singing the songs because it's a jukebox musical, so most of the songs are known songs. So she's singing all the songs. She's laughing. She's almost crying. She just got so invested in the movie. I was like, okay, well, I know she likes this one.
Nice.
That movie had such an impact that, one, Come What May became our wedding song. And two, for probably the first 6 or 7 months after Hamilton came out, that's all that was playing in my house.
Oh, wow.
Nonstop. That's all. I'd come in and I'd hear something going on from Hamilton.
Sabrina? Sabrina knows all the words to all the Hamilton songs.
And so does Rachel. She can just tear up a Lafayette rap, and I'm like, good night. She is killer with it. And now it's been replaced with Moulin Rouge. And now that plays nonstop in the house. It has become like Kidman, her favorite movie. Yes, and Ewan McGregor. And I loved that film when it came out, which is crazy to say, but it came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I loved that movie when it came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to me that she had never seen it or never really heard of it. And that was that experience I was really hoping for with all these other movies.
Nice.
Like, you get that.
Yeah.
She felt it. She felt everything everyone else felt when it came out.
Yeah. I think that's one of the really cool things about storytelling in general. And then when you add, and I know it sounds really crazy because I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I like musicals, but it's not like my first, go-to genre.
Right.
But that's one of the things I love about storytelling. And I think what's so cool and appealing, because I'm a book nerd too, and there's a lot of, I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I do see certain ones, or for example, my buddy Josh is big Star Wars fan, and I have not seen The Mandalorian yet. And I love Star Wars, don't get me wrong. I've seen 4, 5, and 6 like a million times, but I haven't seen any of the new ones, and I haven't seen Mandalorian. And he keeps telling me, he's like, man, you got to watch The Mandalorian, because it's like that. If you like the classic Star Wars, you would love The Mandalorian stuff. And I'm like, but I kind of get it, because I read a lot too, and I don't watch a lot of, stuff. And it sounds really weird, but it's hard for me to get into a movie if the first maybe 5 or 10 minutes are just, they don't just draw you right in, and I like psychological thrillers. I like fun, lighthearted stuff too. I like, like comedy and, that kind of stuff. But when you get a good movie like that and you're just drawn in, and, it just kind of overtakes you.
Watching her experience Moulin Rouge, like I said, was a high for me.
Nice.
Because it was I nailed it. And the movies that I didn't nail it on are the ones that truly surprised me. And, you can feel free to go back and listen to any of our, they're all on Anchor. You can go to anchor.fm/Rachel's Never Seen. Mm-hmm. They're also available on all the regular podcasting sites. You just look for Rachel's Never Seen, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And in like the first season, we hit like some that were just really big tentpole movies that you're like, these are movies that are standard setters now. You know, Back to the Future. She was like, meh, meh.
Yeah.
She absolutely 100% hated Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow.
Hated it.
Wow.
Why did she hate it? Because she hated the rich guy. She hated John Hammond.
Well, that's what
who's
you're
like
supposed to.
he's like not even like a villain in this film.
Yeah.
But she hated him because he was constantly like, "Oh, well, I'll just fix it with money. I'll fix it with money."
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's all rich people." Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like,
Well, that
but
was
you know,
like
there
a
was
quintessential '90s movie, though,
right.
too.
I'm like, you know, there's dinosaurs in this movie,
Yeah,
right? There's
yeah.
some cool sequences and stuff.
What about,
She just not even close.
What about the Marvel cinematic stuff?
She has seen a few of those.
Like the
I
Avengers
would probably say her
Endgame stuff,
favorite
or-
one is probably Black Panther. She
Yeah,
absolutely
that's a good
loved
one.
Black Panther. I don't know that she's really seen all the way through a lot of the other ones
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
She definitely isn't like into it. She's
Yeah.
not like, oh, the new one's coming out, I gotta go check it out.
Right.
She's definitely just not into the MCU. But there's not really any of the. I can't think of a movie series that she's into at all. Anyway, most of the movies that she has seen are usually the ones there's the Disney animated movies. She's seen all of those, and then there's some random movies. Like there was so this is
Oh, let me do the station ID real quick.
all right. Identify this station.
Yeah, you're listening to the Adam Messer Show here today on WRULP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. So,
We watched when Stranger Things 3 came out. When that series came out.
I watched the first season, the first couple episodes, and that was about it for me.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that series.
Yeah,
But the end of season 3 is just like heartbreaking. And it absolutely destroyed her. Absolutely destroyed her. She was a mess. She really, when she gets invested in something, she like emotionally gets invested in it. And if something tragic happens, it crushes her.
Oh, wow.
So she was just a wreck. And I was like, is there anything I can do to bring you out of this? Is there anything we can watch that'll make you happier? And she's so meekly and so in pain. It was just like, the Hannah Montana movie? And I was like, I don't own that movie. And she goes, I think I have it. And there's like, she pulls out this, like a CD book.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of DVDs in there. I'm like, where did these come from?
Yeah.
And we put the Hannah Montana movie on and it made her feel better.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, you've seen Hannah Montana, but you haven't seen Die Hard,
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Does she like the Hallmark movies?
You're a grown. No.
Oh.
No. I think the cheese factor puts it away on that one for
Yeah.
her. Same thing for me. I can't do them. I cannot do them.
Yeah.
My co-host on one of my podcasts, Durden, loves them.
Yeah.
Absolutely
My
loves
wife
them.
loves them. I'm not a big fan of them, but I mean, I know that there's a lot of people out there that do. They like that, lighthearted, romance type stuff.
It's there's nothing wrong with formulaic and I look at it like comfort food.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to go to McDonald's and grab a burger. I'm not going to yell at them you're going to McDonald's. No,
Yeah.
you just need
Can't
comfort
be a burger
food.
snob. Yeah.
Right. You just go get yourself something to eat.
Go get your double cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see
Yeah.
like the Hallmark movies and stuff are. They're comfort food for people. And that's fine. If Hallmark wants to pay me a lot of money to come make one of those movies, I will gladly do it. Smile on my face wearing a shirt that says I'm making a Hallmark movie.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, I like
won't
it
watch
because, like, talking about books and reading, there's so many different genres out there, and everybody, especially if you are a reader and you love reading, some people like the Harry Potter books, some people don't. Some people are more like, I only read XYZ, or whatever. And that's the thing I love about storytelling is that there is a genre for everybody. You know?
Yeah, she will read anything. I think the only thing she hasn't read that I know of is any kind of Stephen King, you know, horror in general. She's not a horror fan.
Right.
But that's it. I mean, right now, I know she has the complete Harry Potter series, massive Harry Potter fan, as am I, but only I've never read the books.
Oh,
in fact, doing a TikTok for VoiceOver Squatch, I narrated the first paragraph of the first book, and that is literally all I've ever read.
The first time you ever read
of Harry Potter. I've seen the movies all the time. I love the films. Big fan of the films, and the whole universe of it. Mm-hmm. But she's massive into that, and she's really big into Outlander. She's read, I think, all those books, unless there's more coming out. I don't know. I'm ignorant to it. And she loves the series, too. That's cool. I can't quite get behind the series because I can't quite get behind the premise. And she was actually giving me some crap about that earlier today. Yeah, that's funny. I think it was either earlier today or yesterday, but I don't know.
My friend Joe turned me on to this book. It's called A Confederacy of Dunces. Have you read that?
I have a while ago, but yes, that is one of the few books I have read.
An absurd
it's hilarious.
Comedy. It is hilarious.
It is
it's
insane.
Just a weird... And, you know, the weird thing about it is I got a paperback copy the other day, but he was telling me about it earlier in the week, and I picked up a ebook version. And then I went by, there's a bookstore off of 21 in Rincon called the Book Nook, and they carry used books, and they had a copy of it. And so I went and picked a copy of it, and then I picked up the audiobook too. So, like, sometimes, you know, if I'm driving or whatever, I like to listen to the audiobook. But I tell you what, that is a strange book, but it's funny. It's like this, I think it was written in the 60s, and this guy, like, we all joke about, like, you know, the kids that live in their basement now, but this guy literally lived with his mom. He was like 30, and it just reminded me so much of, like, all the just trash talking that people do about, you know, people that are that kind of, you know, lives in my mom's basement type thing. But it, you know, the guy's just a strange character, and he ends up working for some kind of I think it's called Levi Pants. It's not Levi Strauss. It's called Levi Pants or Levy Pants or something like that. And he does like office like filing and stuff like that. So, but a friend of mine turned me on to it, and I like absurd comedy stuff. I like, you know, stuff that's different, you know, kind of stuff that's strange and unusual or whatever. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, that's one of the things I think about storytelling is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can go any route to it. I understand the appeal of books, and I'm not sitting here telling people not to read books. I'm telling you to watch the movie first, then go read the book. That's what I'm telling you. That way you have a preconceived notion of what this character looks like and acts like. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
No, it's funny to me when people can't differentiate the two.
Yeah.
You know, and they've read the book, and especially if it's a book that's been around. They've read the book, and they love the book, and then they go see the film, and they're like, well, they left this out. They left that out. They left that out. I was like, it's a 2-hour movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
It's like you got to streamline a lot of things. You can't leave it open to interpretation or anything.
You have to keep the story moving.
Correct.
You know,
exactly.
It's like when I'm not knocking anybody, okay, but there's a difference between like fast action and like high fantasy, and some people like 6 pages of description about what's on the food for the on the table for the food. Mm-hmm. Other people they're just like, hey, they went and they had a banquet.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like good. They're at a banquet. I don't need to know what they're eating unless it's germane to the plot. I don't need to know.
Right, and that's the kind of stuff that they have to show you visually in a movie, but they're not going to describe it.
Exactly.
You're going to see it, like you're going to see this huge spread of food, but they're not going to say, well, these grapes came from Tuscany and this, then, da. They're not going to do all that. They're going to show you visually, and then they're going to move on to the next, why they're at this banquet, you know?
Right. There was always a good example I had of that, of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. There's a lot of people who have read the book and absolutely hate the movie. And
I've only seen the movie. I've never read the book.
Right, I've never read the book either. And honestly, I don't intend to read the book. I've known about living here. You end up knowing more about the story than you ever wanted to.
Right.
So, Rachel.
And by here, you mean Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia, right here. Right, looking for that cheap heat somewhere.
Those people out there in the interwebs that are listening.
Absolutely. If you're out there in Savannah, honk your horn if you're in the car, or jump up and down in your room.
We actually, one time, Josh and I were talking. We said we wanted to get coffee, and somebody came by and brought us coffee.
I would like some coffee if there's anybody out there. Hit me
307 East Harris Street.
307 East Harris Street. You can just bring me a nice little
box of figs right down the street from us.
Cup of coffee, 2 creams, 2 sugars. That'd be great. All right? Lights out. Thank you very much. But Rachel had read the book but hadn't seen the movie, and that was one of the last movies. I think it was the last one we did of the last season of Rachel's Never Seen. And she was like, I liked both because I understand why they couldn't put that there was 4 trials that covered this. It's like it's a 2.5 hour movie. Even that's long.
Yeah, that's long.
And they, could only cover it the way they did. So people have got to give themselves a little leeway whenever they go to see something like that.
I mean, it's like you said about McDonald's earlier. You go from here to Seattle and you go to McDonald's, it's going to be the same burger.
Exactly.
But you go from this, from Savannah, one of the little boutique restaurants we have, to a boutique restaurant in Seattle, it's going to be a different kind of burger.
It will be a different
Probably
burger
wouldn't even
there.
be called a burger in Seattle,
No.
They call it like... It'd be called like tartar, meat tartar.
It's an herbal cow patty, and all of us country people go, I'm not eating a cow patty.
Yeah,
I know what a cow patty is, and I'm not eating one.
Everybody, stay tuned because we've got to do our station ID and all that. But you are listening to the Adam Messer Show, and my special guest today is Drew Hunt. And after the
special,
yes, sir.
Yes.
After the thing, I'd like to talk more about like your filmmaking.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that'd be a good segue.
What does it mean when we say that WRUU is a community radio station? It doesn't just mean that we invite the community to create programming, and it doesn't just mean that we are a voice for the community. It also means that we are counting on the community to keep us going, and you are the community. Almost all of our modest budget comes from small annual or monthly donations from listeners like you. You get to enjoy our community-focused programming because many others have stepped forward to do their part. Now do your part by joining our community of listener donors. Go to WRUU.org right now and make a one-time or monthly donation, and thank you for supporting Savannah's community radio station, 107.5 FM.
This portion of WRUU Savannah Soundings programming is provided by listeners and by Brighter Day Natural Foods. Brighter Day Natural Foods has been serving Savannah's healthy food and supplement needs since 1978. It is located at the corner of Bull Street and Park Avenue. They have available online ordering and curbside delivery, and now a walk-up window for smoothies, juices, and sandwiches from the deli. They are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 12 to 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. More information can be found at brighterdayfoods.com. Loop It Up Savannah is a youth arts and enrichment nonprofit providing school day, after school, and summer program workshops for over 10,000 young people each year. Programming includes visual and performing arts, early literacy programming, school garden projects, yoga and mindfulness-based practice, and creative entrepreneurship throughout Savannah. More information is available at loopitupsavannah.org.
All right, everybody. We are back here live in the studio, and Drew Hunt is my guest today.
Oh, I'm no longer a special guest.
My special guest, Drew Hunt.
Woohoo! Special again.
we should have had your wife come in too. That would have been a fun. We could do the next time.
We'll do that next time round.
Yeah, we could be like Rachel has never seen.
So why haven't you watched
movies live on the radio? But you, I did the 48-hour film thing in 2014, and you actually won several of the awards for that, right?
My team we're Team Mojave 4 Films, have had a really good run on that. Now, I mean, they didn't do the 48 obviously last year because there's COVID and you're not doing anything. I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year. It feels like
a lot of restrictions.
And it's a little late feels like a little late in the game for them to have one. They could still do it. It could be in August or September, but I haven't heard anything.
I haven't participated in one in a long time, but
so my team, we participated 6 years in a row, basically the last 6 years. And every year we learned something. Mm-hmm. We took something away from what we had done. We had really good years, and we had a bad year, like where we improved everything into a failure. Mm-hmm. And after that year,
that's one of those. Have you all gotten the TPS report?
Yeah, after that year, we finally figured it out. Like we were like, okay, we got to start from scratch, team wise, figure this out. Who's our strong people? Who do we need to keep? We did. And for those last 3 years, up until, they didn't have one in 2020, so 17, 18, 19, we at least placed or won in the competition. So we figured it out, like where our strong suit was, what we needed to do, and what we needed to focus on.
And but for the folks that don't know what a 48-hour film festival is, can you kind of just give a little overview?
Sure. So there is an international competition called the 48-Hour Film Project. What it essentially is you have 48 hours to write, shoot, and edit and produce a short film. Mm-hmm. You can let me start over with that. When you get to the drawing, because you're going to draw whatever genre you're going to get. You got to draw it. Mm-hmm. And they cover the gamut of genres: action, adventure, comedy, horror, sports film, mystery. There's musical, western. It's all over the place. Silent film is one of them. Mockumentary, which is one I'd love to get one year, but mockumentary. It's every kind of movie you can think of is there. So you go up and you draw, and usually when you draw, you get two genres, and you got to pick one. Or you can combine them and do a combined genre movie. And every film has to have 3 elements in it. The same 3 elements in everybody's film. There's a character that has an occupation that has to be in it. There's a prop that has to be in every single film. Mm-hmm. And then there's a line that has to be in every single film. So it levels the playing field so that nobody can shoot early or try and get ahead of anything.
And they don't know what it is before they actually start.
Correct. You will not know until the competition begins. And then usually it's from 7 p.m. Friday to 7:30 p.m. on Sunday that you have to do everything and turn it in by then. It has to be between 4 and 7 minutes long. And it's tough. It's a rush. It's a lot of fun creatively. Mm-hmm. You can really get a good set of people around you and come up with some wacky stuff. But it's very tough to do. But it's a whole lot of fun. And you're not competing against professionals.
Right.
You do have professionals in there.
Right.
You have weekend warriors, people who just shoot movies on their weekends. They had kids teams. They had a team entirely comprised of people under the age of 12, and they shot their film on a phone.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, they shot it on a Samsung. So there's really no excuse to not do it if you
love film.
If you love film and you're aching to do something like this.
Even if you're a writer or something like that, you want to work with a team.
Find a team to work with.
Yeah, because you don't. That's the whole thing about filmmaking. I feel like people don't understand. It's a whole aspect of storytelling. You need people who do production. You need people, not just the acting and the face, but you need the storytellers. You need, the people that can shoot. You can, there's all kinds.
Absolutely.
Whatever you like doing, you can do in film.
Correct. And our team has been blessed. We've had a screenwriter. Her name is Enika Edenfield, and she has been phenomenal for us. She has written a whole lot of things that have been funny, that have been serious. Up until he moved away in late 2018, we had an editor / composer. You know him. He's a mutual friend of ours, Lonnie Thompson.
Yeah, Lonnie.
And he would edit our films, and he would compose the music to our films. And one year we drew musical. And so we had to sit there and write like 3 songs
Nice.
overnight. And it was
And
myself
then have somebody sing it.
and then have somebody sing them.
Perform, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a challenge. It was a huge challenge. It's just it's a lot of fun. I do miss it. I do miss the 48. Like I said, I've got a feeling it probably won't happen again this year, but I do hope it's back in 2022.
You know, my friend Josh Vasquez and I, we started Dead Pixel Pictures as kind of like a fun little B horror movie type thing.
Right.
And the anthology that I put out last year with Valhalla Books, The Devil's Due, Josh wrote a script. We worked together on it. We shot it, and it was on the same premise of there's no good deal with the devil. Basically, any deal that you make with the devil is going to be, you're not going to win.
It doesn't favor you.
Yeah. Even if you think you're getting ahead, you're not going to get ahead. And that was so much fun. We did that. We just put it straight on YouTube, and then we did this other one that Josh came up with called Oh No Zombies, and it's basically a B horror film. The premise is like you and I are here in the studio, and then we're like, oh no, zombies, and it cuts to the zombie scene, and so every one of them is the same zombie scene. So the shtick is it's oh no, zombies, and it goes to the same zombie scene.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and then we've got a couple other small ones that we're working on. I've got one that I wrote. I don't want to talk about it just yet, but it's one that I wrote that we've got lined up. That's going to be our next one. But it's so much fun, man. I mean, like we're doing it because we enjoy it, and we're having a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that when you write or you make film or any kind of storytelling like that, like with the podcast or the radio show, that's a fun premise. It's like, well, my wife's never seen these movies. You just kind of put that like what if out there, like
Absolutely.
And you just kind of have a good time with it.
Yeah, and most of the projects I do are exactly that. Most of them are good time projects. And if something great comes of it, then fine.
Right.
But in the meantime, I'm doing them. I look at them as a hobby that I'm having a lot of fun. And ultimately, they don't really cost me any money. So I'm not. Just the only thing it costs me is my time. And my time's worthless. So it costs me nothing.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, like, I feel like it's so crazy, but I just turned 45 and this year, and I'm at that midpoint in my life where I feel like my time is really the only thing outside of my relationships that I have.
Right. I just crossed the 40 barrier this year.
Oh, congratulations.
And
I thought you were like 32 or 33.
No, sir. So
we're closer in age than I thought.
Yep, crossed that big 40 this year. And
did everything start breaking down all of a sudden?
No. See, I punished my body pretty good in my early 20s and stuff.
Okay.
When I was a wrestler, and
nice.
I've been paying for it ever since. So yeah, no, that's just it is what it is.
I hit 40, and then I started having these weird like body pain. I used to weightlift too, and I never wrestled, but I did jiu-jitsu for a while, and so like you get like these different pains and stuff like that from that. But when I hit 40, it was like all of a sudden it was like, wait a minute, why am I getting this old man pain?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is my knee like buckling for no reason when I'm going up the stairs, like just odd random time?
Yeah, I get new clicks and stuff and different and different things will pop here and there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's a new one. That's a new joint. Welcome to the group, man. We've got jackets. So
dude, I love it.
Yeah, me and my joints have a standing relationship. As long as they don't give out, they can click and pop all they want.
Nice. You also, the voiceover Squatch.
Yes, that's a new venture I've started.
So you have that, nice, what is it, like a baritone?
I guess. I
don't
joke
know
with
the
it. It's like,
name,
I have
but
a rich baritone.
You have that low, low.
It's a very low register.
Yeah.
I've heard the words big bottom being thrown around, and
There
I
you
don't
go.
know if it's an insult or not, but they're there.
Well,
Everybody turn your
you
bass
started
up.
doing the voiceover squatch as a way to start doing some voice acting, right?
Yeah, it's more of an exercise than anything else. Okay. It's to give myself things to read, find, find the things that I can do well, in, oh my God, somebody actually brought us coffee. Unreal. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that.
Of course, we'll drink it out in the hallway because we're not allowed to have it in the studio.
No. It's so nice that they brought it, though. I was calling your bluff. I was absolutely calling your bluff, but nope, there it is. Look at that.
We've got great people.
God, the listeners here are amazing. Thank you, listeners. So, yeah, I did it more as an exercise.
I love the idea of it.
And just to find different things that I could lend my voice to and kind of find, okay, what's my butter zone going to be? Is it going to be doing character voices? Is it going to be doing narration? Is it going to be commercial work?
I've got one for you.
Book, audio books.
How about you read the station ID for us?
Well, where can I get this
right
station
behind
ID? I can't read that behind me.
Hey, you can pull the sign down. Yeah.
Do I use should I use correct station identification?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh boy,
You're
especially reading this cold even better.
I know, but I love it.
That's what you got to do. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see here. You're listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul.
That was awesome, man.
That was a cold read.
I know. I totally put you on the spot too. But we'll have a couple more chances to do it.
That was my rehearsal for it.
Yeah.
So, but I've been, just reading different things, reading excerpts from books, reading joke commercials, just saying movie quotes or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to just get some work out there to just try and practice this thing. And, we'll see where it goes. I'm having a good time doing it, though. It's a lot of fun.
I tell you what I thought was so cool is, like I said, we keep in touch on Facebook and stuff. And when I saw you were doing that, I was like, hey, man, I see you do the Instagram. Well, not necessarily so much Instagram, but I was seeing that you were doing the Instagram. And I was
right.
I was like, hey, man.
That's where I launched it. I launched it on Instagram because that's what I was familiar with.
And I was like, hey, have you ever thought about, like doing a TikTok?
Yeah, and TikTok absolutely intimidated me because I don't know if it's because I did cross the 4.0 barrier or not, but I really have felt like I had aged out of social media.
Yeah.
Like I am at the point where I just use it to post pictures of my animals and my wife.
Right.
And that's it.
As
like there's then share my podcasts and stuff. But that's it. That's all I use it for. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. And it sounds weird to say, but it's like I don't understand the premise of TikTok. What am I supposed to do with it? Is it like Vine? I remember Vine back in the day. Mm-hmm. So what am I supposed to do with this? And you were like, you should do TikTok. This would get over pretty well on there. It's exactly what they do. It's just little small short videos that people you can end up building an audience with. So I was like, all right.
Your channel's taken off. I mean, you just started.
We got to define taking off, but once again, you're talking about
400 and 500 hits,
exactly.
per video.
But you're talking about once again. I don't know what that characterizes as.
Well,
because
it might not monetize.
Oh, I'm not looking for money right now.
The thing I think is so cool is that because the way TikTok works is they send it out to a small percentage of the people who follow you. And they've got this one page called the For You page.
Right.
So when they send it out, they send it out to more people based off of how many people actually watch it. And so if somebody watches it all the way through, it goes to another group of people, whatever. And you just started about a week ago. You're your page, you've had like 400 or 500 views.
Yeah, all of my videos, except for obviously the one I put up today, have got over 400 views. One has crossed the 500 mark.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean, is that
really
good?
solid, dude. I like mine usually get 200 to 300. So
Like, I don't know. I don't
I have
know
a
in the
feeling it's
realm
gonna
of the
blow up.
world
I feel like
what that means.
I
you
feel like
know?
that's going to do really well for you.
Well, I feel like if for it to do so, I've got to find the right niche. I got to find the right things that are going to get the people there. You know what I mean?
TikTok's really good about being like a pointer. You say, hey, this is my channel. Check out my YouTube or whatever. TikTok's really good about being a pointer for other things like your website and all that.
Yeah.
But it can also there's the big one, Bella. Like she blew up from a TikTok where she was just doing like a head bob, and all of a sudden, like a year later, she's the biggest social media star, and I'm like, what?
You just don't know. You don't know what's going to get you over anymore.
Right.
I definitely, I don't know, man.
I'm
having
cool
fun.
because
I'm having fun doing this.
Well, I love this is what I really like, and this is one of the things that I think is a good fit because when I was like, hey, you were like, well, what would work or whatever, and I was like, you do the voiceover stuff, you do the podcast stuff,
right,
and then you also have your wrestling. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but any one of those things would be like a good fit, and I like how you did the voiceover thing because you already have the setup. So people see the mic, they see you got the glasses.
I use the glasses like as the gimmick.
Stick, yeah.
I use it for the gimmick, and which has become a big mistake because it's really hard to read in those glasses.
Those amber.
The red tint, especially if you're trying to read off of a computer screen, not the best thing in the world. There's a lot of there's competing light going on there, and it's very odd.
Yeah, but it's cool, man, because because you've done. The reason why I'm saying this is because your background with production work, you've done film and obviously you've done the podcast and stuff like that, media, that kind of thing. It just shows that you're willing to get out there and put it out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really cool.
I don't have a whole lot of shame.
Right.
I've done shameful things in my past, and I've slowly learned that if you just own them, they're actually funny things. There's nothing to really be ashamed about. So I've kind of let shame go away, which is
if you can't laugh at yourself,
right, and it's very liberating once you let shame get out of the way.
Yeah, well,
shame goes away, everything's great.
Talking about that, not the same vein, but also people, they think that they have to have so many resources to get started.
Right.
Like you were talking about these kids making films on their phone. Like Josh and I, we used our iPhones to make the films.
Right. I mean, you have
if
you have a phone from the last 2 or 3 years, that recent a model, you have a 4K camera on your phone.
Yeah. And on top of that, you don't have to have, major resources to do stuff. You don't have to have a major budget. You don't have to have anything to get going.
It can help.
Oh, yeah.
It can help put the polish where it needs to go.
Right.
But even if you did, and you don't know what to do with that budget, then what's the point?
Right.
You got to know what to do with it.
Yeah, you can't just finance something and, expect to produce something great.
Right.
You have to have the skill.
If you gave me the money to try and make a 4-minute scene that looked like something from Iron Man, it's not going to look like it.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to look like it.
You could do some concept art. You could do some really cool concept stuff.
It's just not going to happen.
This is what I'd like it to look like.
Even if I got Robert Downey Jr. for free to do that.
Right.
It's still just not going to look like that. Because I don't know, while I'm not ignorant, I just don't know where I would put that money to best get that result.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I don't know if this is a current statistic, but I remember at one time they were saying that it cost over $1 million per minute for the CGI.
I have no doubt, to be honest.
That's a dated
stat. By the time you got to Infinity War and Endgame,
it might have been more than that.
You're talking $500 million for a budget.
Yeah.
For one movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to make it back. And quite frankly, I can't remember which one it was, but I want to say it was either the original Avengers or it may have been Infinity War. It could be Endgame, but one of them, and maybe all three, are still in the red. They're not profitable movies yet because there's so much put into everything else, and then advertising and all of this. No matter how big the markets are, everyone's got to get a cut. Everything's going to happen, and they're still not profitable films yet. But we can't fathom that.
Right.
Endgame made $1 billion on its opening day worldwide. How is it not profitable? It's crazy. It's really crazy.
I think it's amazing too. You talk about shame. Robert Downey Jr.'s career.
Oh yeah,
changed overnight when he did the Iron Man movie.
I think,
and I feel like that was such a redeeming quality.
I feel like he was on a road up by the time he got to Iron Man.
He had cleaned up by then.
Oh yeah, he was sober by then, but he hit Iron Man. It was the right time for him.
He nailed the Tony Stark character.
Oh yeah, it was perfect casting from Jon Favreau and all of those guys who put that together. They I mean, not just in look but in attitude and everything about him. They got right. But he, before that he did like Zodiac, a David Fincher film.
I loved when he did Sherlock.
Sherlock Holmes and stuff came out, I think, like the year right after that.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., I think there's an entire generation that only know him as Iron Man.
Yeah.
That don't know him from
before
Less Than Zero. That don't know him from even as far back as like Weird Science and
that his dad was a movie star.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a whole, it's like a whole nother lifetime
his dad wasn't a movie star. I think he was a talk show.
He was a studio. No, he was a studio. He was an actor, he was a producer, and he was a studio head for a while. Robert Downey Sr.
Didn't he have that Shock Jock TV show too?
Oh, you're thinking, no.
That's a different guy.
Yeah, you're thinking of Morton Downey.
That's
Morton
right.
Downey Jr.
My bad.
Yeah, no, there's two completely different people on that one.
I had that one. I had talk about shame. I had my signals crisscrossed.
Man, whoo. You're looking up two completely different people.
That guy was a precursor to Jerry Springer.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. Morton Downey
Not
Jr.
as an aside, but do you know Jerry Springer has one of those TV judge shows now?
Yeah, I was working at the TV station when he was retiring the old Springer show and was coming back as a judge, as a TV judge. And I was like, why not? It's Jerry Springer. He can do whatever he wants to.
He was
the
mayor of Cincinnati at one point in the 70s.
He can do whatever he wants.
We got like a minute left for this hour before we're going to break. But where is a good website people can go check out your...
There's no centralized website, so it depends on what you want to check out of mine. Anchor.
What's your Instagram?
All right, so my personal Instagram is @filmtattoo.
Yeah.
And I have the @voiceover squatch as well. So either one of those.
Next hour, I want to get into the squatch.
Yeah.
Like I love, because like you're a big guy, obviously.
Yep.
And so we got to find out. We're going to save that for the next hour, but we're going to talk about where that came from.
Where the squatch came from.
The squatch. I want to call you Squatchy, man. I'm like the voiceover squatch. Squatchy.
It does not bother me one bit.
I love it. All right, stay tuned, everybody, because we're going to be back this next hour, and we're going to have Drew Hunt on, my special guest today, and we're going to be talking more about just stuff.
Whatever we want to talk about here on WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia.
That's right. All right. Thanks.
Is WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. This is Overture number 6 in G minor by